Very good morning, children. I am Deepa, your physical science teacher from Dr. Besant School. How are you all? I hope all are fine, staying at home and watching all the videos, right? And as we told you in your Zoom interaction and all, this month end we are going to have a FA1 exam, our exam. We should not neglect the exam. Okay, if you are in the school, we used to do a lot of revision, isn't it? I used to ask the answers for you and I made your friends to ask the answers for you and all when you are physically present here. But as there is no chance of that, but we are not going to stop the exams, isn't it? Because you should understand how far you are thorough with the chapters, what all have completed. So exam is compulsory and you all should write well. So to write well that exam, we are going to start our revision. Your syllabus is 2 chapters as I told already. Motion and laws of motion, 2 chapters. So in this week videos, we are going to do the revision on both the chapters, okay? Revision in the sense, the entire chapter like a summary I will tell you. Briefly, like a summary I will explain all the topics again briefly just, okay? And you will, for listening that, while listening that, you should have the book in your hand, have the textbook in your hand. When I am explaining, you just go through that. Once the video is over, again you read the lesson, every line, every word, then read workbook, question answers, everything you read, then only you can answer well in your exam. Don't think we can write easily, no problem. You can't write because application type questions will be there. Okay, children, if you are thorough with the concept is in your grip, then you can write the exam very well. So, shall we start our revision? Good. So, today we are going to do the revision on first chapter. What is that first chapter? Motion. So, what all we learnt in the motion and what are the main important topics we will discuss. So, before studying about this motion, in this motion, we have learnt the term, important term, that is relative. We have learnt the important term relative. Okay, what is this relative? To get a proper meaning of the sentence, all the words which are connected in the sentence should be related to each other. Then only we will get a proper meaning. That is what we have discussed. In the same way, to know the directions, okay, to know up and down, whatever it is, there should be a proper relation. So related to some reference point. If anything is explained related to some reference point, then only a proper meaning, proper understanding will take place. That is what relative. So for this relative we have learnt right and left. For this right and left, see in your textbook page number 2, a house is there and 2 persons A and B are moving opposite directions towards the house. So if you ask that person, which side of the road is the house? Is it on the right side or on the left side? Then the person A will answer, it is on the right. And for person B, the house is on the left. So who is right, who is wrong? Both are right because that depends on the relative of their position. So position of the house is relative to the observer. Next, day or night just now. As we discussed in our video. Is it day or night now? In India, the person will say it is day, but the person in US will say it is night. Both are correct. No one is wrong. That is relative to the place. According to the place, it should be answered whether day or night. So, it is relative to the place. In the same way, up and down. So, here 4 persons, A, B, C, D. So A will say, I am at the top and B is at my bottom. Whereas C will say, I am at the top and D is my bottom. B will say, I am up and A is down. D will say, I am up and C is down. All are correct, isn't it? Because that depends on the position of the relative to the position. So from this what you understood? From this we understood that even motion is also relative. Motion is relative. To understand that, here small conversation is given which we already discussed. Two persons, Somesh and Srinu, standing beside the road, okay, side of the road near a tree, and a car is passing on the road, which two persons are there in the car, driver and the passenger. Car is moving towards the east. So their conversation already we have learned. If Srinu asked what is the state of motion of the tree, then he told it is at rest. Then what is the state of motion of the car? It is moving due east. Why he told that? Because compared to Srinu, there is no change in the position of the tree. Tree is at the same distance to Srinu. Whereas the car, along with the time, change in the time, the position of the car is changing. The distance between Srinu and car is changing, increasing, isn't it? So there is change in the position of the car. So car is in motion and tree is at rest for both Srinu and Somesh. Whereas the car driver asks the passenger, what is the position of the state of tree? Then the car driver, the passenger says that the tree is in motion. Why he is telling tree is in motion? Because along with the time, there is change in the position of the tree. Yes or no? Car is passing like this. Okay, so the distance from this person, passenger and the tree is changing along with the time. As there is change in the position of the tree is in motion. Then the passenger asked, what is the position of these two persons? State of these two persons. Then the passenger said they both are also in motion because there is change in the position. Then the driver asked, what is the state of me? So according to the passenger, the state of driver is at rest because there is no change in the position of the driver. Driver and passenger are always at the same distance. So no change in the position of the driver. So you are at rest. So who are correct, who is wrong? Both are correct basing on the position of the relative to the position. So whether any body is in motion or rest can be understood relative to the position of the object with a reference point. That is why we call motion is relative. Am I clear, children? So now the definition, which is very important, a body is said to be in motion. A body is said to be in motion when its position is changing continuously with time. When its position is changing continuously with time relative to observer. Continuously with time relative to an observer. This is the definition of motion. Clear, children? Next, our next topic is distance and displacement. So what is the main difference between distance and displacement? Distance is the length of the path traversed by an object in a given time interval. Means in a particular time, how much is the length traveled by an object in a particular time, suppose in 1 second or 3 seconds or 5 seconds or 1 minute, how much length is traversed by an object, how much length is covered by the object, that is called distance. Whereas displacement is the shortest distance covered by the object in a specified direction. Displacement is the shortest distance covered by the object in a specified direction. So coming to distance and displacement, distance, length traversed by an object which it do not have specified direction. It do not depend on direction. Only the length traversed, total length covered or not. That is what distance. As it do not have specified direction, what quantity we call it as? It is called scalar quantity. Scalar quantity. As it do not depend on direction. Whereas displacement is the shortest distance. Shortest distance covered by an object, and it have displacement have specified direction, and as it have specified direction, what quantity we call it as? Yes, it is called vector. It is vector quantity. Clear, children? This is what distance and displacement, and SI unit of distance or displacement is meter. So SI unit of both is meter, which this meter is denoted by M, small letter M. And the big more distance or displacement, then we can use kilometer also, which 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meters and 1 meter equal to 100 centimeters. Okay, and how to draw the displacement vectors also you have learned. Shortest distance from one place to another place. Suppose this is the point and this is the point traversed. Okay, suppose the body traveled like this, then it is distance. From this point to this point, directly shortest distance in a specified direction, then it is displacement. And next topic is average speed and average velocity. Very important, this formula. Average speed formula. Average speed equal to distance, total distance by time taken. Average speed equal to total distance by time taken. Whereas average velocity equal to total displacement by time taken. This is average velocity. Clear, children? So this formula is important to do the problems. So this average speed and average velocity explain the motion of a body in a given time interval. They do not give any information about the motion of the body at a particular instant of time. Okay, particular instant means suppose a train is moving from, as we discussed, Vizag to Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam to Hyderabad. So at night 10 o'clock, what is the average speed of the train or velocity of the train? That can't be known. Okay, or at Vijayawada, what is the average speed of the train? That cannot be known. It will give the speed or velocity overall together, full journey, starting from Visakhapatnam to reaching to Hyderabad. Okay, children, this is average speed and average velocity, and also activities also we have seen to understand this average speed and average velocity. Next, what is meant by instantaneous speed? The speed at any instant, at a particular instant of time. So average speed tells about the total journey. Average velocity tells about the total journey. But instantaneous speed means the speed at a particular instant of time is called instantaneous speed, and the device used to measure this instantaneous speed is speedometer. In all our vehicles you can see that speedometer. And the device used to measure the distance, how much distance we have traveled. What is the device used? That is odometer. Okay, children? Next, uniform motion. Okay, here speed and velocity, main difference. Speed gives the idea of how fast the body moves. Speed gives the idea of how fast the body moves, but it do not depend on any direction. Whereas velocity is the speed of an object in a specified direction. Clear, children? So speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity, because velocity depends on specified direction, because velocity is displacement by time. Displacement depend on direction, so velocity also depends on direction. Whereas speed is distance by time. Distance do not depend on direction, so speed also do not depend on direction. Uniform motion. What is meant by uniform motion? Covering the same distance in equal intervals of time. Okay, that is called uniform motion. Like, say here given 0 seconds, the distance travelled is 0, table 1. 1 second, 4 meters. 2 seconds, 8 meters. 3 seconds, 12 meters. So what is the distance covered in every 1 second? 0 to 1 second, 4 meters. 1 to 2 seconds, 8 minus 4, 4 meters. 2 to 3 seconds, 12 minus 8, 4 meters. So for every 1 second, the body is covering a distance of 4 meters here equally. So equal distance covered for equal time interval. Then we call it as uniform motion. So the motion of a body is said to be uniform when its velocity is constant. This is the definition of uniform motion. Very important, all the definitions, children. What is uniform motion? The motion of the body is said to be uniform when its velocity is constant. Next, non-uniform motion. So we have learned in non-uniform motion there will be 3 types. If you see here, table 2, you see page number 10, table 2, in 0 seconds the distance covered is 0 meters. In 1 second the distance covered is 1 meter. 2 seconds 4 meters, 3 seconds 9 meters, 4 seconds 16 meters. So here is the body covering the same distance for every equal time interval, for every 1 second. 0 to 1 second, how much distance it has covered? 1 meter distance. 1 to 2 seconds, how much distance it has covered? 4 minus 1, 3 meters it has covered. From 2 to 3 seconds, how much distance it has covered? 9 minus 4, 5 meters distance. So for every 1 second, this body is not covering the same distance. So it is called non-uniform motion. And in this non-uniform motion, many types will be there. Activity 6. An inclined plane is taken, okay, and a ball is placed at the top of the inclined plane and you leave it. What will happen? Initially the distance covered will be very less, but as coming down, because of gravitational force of attraction, the ball speed will increase and it covers a long distance, more distance as coming down. See, at 0 seconds it is at top, 1 second it covered only this much distance here. Whereas next to 2 seconds somewhat distance increased, but 3 seconds long distance it has covered and came down. So as coming down the speed is increasing because of gravitational force. Whereas here you see figure 15, the same ball, inclined plane, now the ball is placed at the bottom and apply the force on the ball. It will roll upwards. While rolling upwards, see here, initially it covers a long distance, but as going up, its speed will decrease. It covers very less distance because it is moving against the gravitational force, opposite to acceleration due to gravity. So the speed will gradually decreases and the distance covered will also decreases. See, 0 to 1 it has covered this much distance, and from 1 to 2 the distance has decreased. 2 to 3 completely the distance has decreased. isn't it? So in these two examples, if you see, what is changing? Speed is changing, that is velocity is changing, but direction is remaining constant. Isn't it? It is moving in the same direction, but velocity changes. So that is also non-uniform motion. Whereas next activity is circular motion, uniform circular motion. You see here, in uniform circular motion, the speed remains constant because uniform circular motion means the time taken to complete one rotation, one revolution always remains same. So completely the speed remains constant, but what is changing? Direction of velocity continuously changes. What is the original direction of velocity? Original direction of velocity is tangential. Tangential means straight line. Suppose it is the circle, at any point you consider any point on the circle. This is the direction of the velocity, original direction of the velocity. What is that? Tangential means straight line. But is the object going in that velocity direction? No. Continuously there is change in the direction of velocity. It is moving towards the center. Circular, isn't it? So in this example, what we understood? The velocity remains constant, speed remains constant, but direction of velocity continuously changes. Clear, children? So it is also non-uniform motion. Now third example, if you throw any object into air, what will happen? Initially the speed will be more, but as going to the top, the speed will decrease. Why? Because it is moving opposite to the acceleration due to gravity, opposite to gravitational force. So the speed will decrease. Okay, going to certain height, maximum height, the speed will become 0. What will happen when speed becomes 0? The body will change its direction. Isn't up to that time it went straight, but later what is happening? It changes its direction and comes down. While coming down, initially the speed is less, but as coming down, because of gravitational force, the speed will increase. Am I clear, children? So tell me what is happening here in this situation. Both speed as well as direction, both are changing. So it is also non-uniform motion. I hope I am clear, children. Right. Now see here in the book, page number 11, last 3 points he gave. So above 3 activities, you can conclude that the change in velocity takes place in 3 ways. 1. Speed changes with direction remaining constant. Speed changes, direction remains constant. Direction of motion changes with speed remain constant. Here, speed changes, direction remains constant. Here, speed remains constant, but direction continuously changes. Third one, both direction and speed change simultaneously. So motion of an object is said to be non-uniform when its velocity is changing. Motion of an object is said to be uniform when its velocity remains constant. And motion of an object said to be non-uniform when its velocity is changing. Am I clear, children? Right. Next topic is acceleration, very important. What is meant by acceleration? Acceleration gives an idea how quickly the velocity of a body is changing. So what is acceleration? Rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. What is acceleration? Rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Means change in the velocity. Okay, that is called in what rate? Rate means here what? Time, per time. Change in velocity per time is called acceleration, where the formula is acceleration represented with A. Okay, change in velocity, change with delta, velocity is V, delta V by delta T. Change in velocity by change in time. That is called acceleration. I already told you best example for this. Suppose a train is leaving the station, started from one station, train. At the beginning, initially it moves very slowly, isn't it? And it picks its speed after after leaving the station, crossed the station, then the speed will increase. Isn't it? The velocity will increase. So we say train is in acceleration. The same train, when it is reaching the end point, another station, what will happen? Before reaching the station, it will come with fast, very fast. But once it reaches the station, automatically the speed will decrease, the speed will reduce, isn't it? So it will move slowly, 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 and finally it will come to halt. Isn't it? That also change in velocity only. But see children here, increase in velocity per time is acceleration. Whereas decrease in velocity per time is deceleration. You understood? Deceleration also change in velocity. But increase in speed is acceleration. Decrease in speed is deceleration. Three names are there. Decrease in speed, deceleration, or negative acceleration. Increase in speed is acceleration. Opposite to that is decrease in speed. So it is negative acceleration or retardation. Three names are there for that. Deceleration, negative acceleration or retardation. Am I clear? Both are change in velocity. But increase in velocity is acceleration, decrease in velocity is deceleration. I hope I am clear children. Now, according to the formula as we discussed, okay, distance here, speed, formula is distance by time. What is the SI unit of speed? Sorry, distance, meter. So, the SI unit of speed is meter per time, second. So, meter per second is the SI unit of speed. Then what about velocity? Displacement. Displacement SI unit is also meter and time is second. So, velocity SI unit is also meter per second. The SI unit of speed and velocity is meter per second. Then what is the SI unit of acceleration and deceleration? Acceleration is velocity by time, change in velocity by time taken. This velocity SI unit, what you got here? Meter per second. So, meter per second by time is second. This by second comes to the denominator. So, meter per second into second. What will happen? So, SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Very important this units children, be careful. SI unit of acceleration or deceleration is meter per second square because velocity meter per second by time second, meter per second into second which is equal to meter per second square. This is the SI unit of acceleration. Am I clear children? Next, equations of motion. The main important 3 equations or 4 equations we have learned and a small lab activity is there which we are going to discuss in our next video. Okay children, so you will read up to what I have completed, every line you read and then go through the workbook. Clear children? Thank you.